Let's have a look at indices using the division rule. So here is our division rule, and it tells us if the base is the same, base A, then I can combine them together using this rule. So the base has to be the same. And if I've got something to the power of n divided by something to the power of m, then I am going to subtract those two powers. So let's have a look. And I'm just going to do this one expanded out and then the other one's shortened using the rule. So this 2 to the power of 4 means 2 being multiplied by itself 4 times. Divided, and I'm just going to write this as a fraction, just so it's easier for me to show you this. Then that's divided by 2 to the power of 3, which means 2 being multiplied by itself 3 times. Now what I need to do is look and see, well, what can I cancel? If I'm multiplying top and bottom by the same number, I can simplify. So I've got a 2 times on the top and a 2 times on the bottom that will cancel. I've got another 2 times and another 2 times that cancels. A third one and a third one. So what am I left with? Well, on the top, I'm left with a 2. On the bottom, I'm left with anything, remember, can be multiplied by 1. So I'm left with a 1 on the bottom, which is the same as 2. Let's have a look at another example there. So now I'm going to use the rule. And so the rule says if the base is the same, so I've got a base y divided by base y. So that becomes y, the base is still the same. And I'm going to, because I'm dividing, I'm going to subtract the powers. 3 take away 2. Now 3 take away 2 is 1. So I can write it as y to the power of 1, or I can write it as y. Either of those is acceptable. Let's have a look at a third example here now. So now we need to think about 2 parts. We need to deal with the numbers, the 4 and the 6. Then we need to deal with the variables, the a to the power of 7 and a squared. So let's think about the numbers first of all. So 4 and 6, what would the highest common factor of 4 and 6 be? Well, the highest common factor would be 2. So I can write 4 as 2 times 2 and 6 as 2 times 3. Okay, so that means I can cancel one of those sets of 2's. Then I've got, let me just do this back. Then I've got a to the power of 7 take away 2. It's the top minus the bottom, base is the same. So that's going to leave me with 2 a to the power of 5 over 3. Or I could write that as 2 thirds a to the power of 5. That would be acceptable as well. So either of those forms would be fine.